Hey, Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear loud and clear.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks for doing this.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So last time I saw you, I was at Nick's house, your grandfather's house in, I guess, Gainesville, whatever, for July 4th.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and there was a million of Kuzemka grandkids running around. I didn't know who's who. Yeah,
Uh-huh. There's a
you,
lot of them. There's
there's,
definitely a
there's a
lot of
lot of
them.
them. So you probably
Mhm.
were 5 or 6 years old. Uh,
Wow.
but I've known you guys for a long time. So Aaron and I, your uncle Aaron, played football with me as kids, and went to high school together the same year. Lifetime friends. And then Justin, your obviously your dad, a great wrestler at Robson. He was a good friend of a good friend of mine named Sean Johnson, and we go a long way back. And Justin and I hung out a lot, after college and stuff. Such a great guy, great athlete. And then, of course, I'm really good friends with your grandfather, Mr. Kuzemka, Nick. But also, I knew Cindy, way before Justin knew her, because my friend Sean played basketball with your uncle Mark,
Uh-huh.
Cindy's
Yep.
husband. And so Sean and I used to go by and play basketball with Mark at his house. I guess Mark still lives there.
Yeah,
So,
they do. It's crazy. They live in that same house though. We go there for Thanksgiving every year. It's crazy that they
oh,
lived
that's
in
great.
it.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
I know
cool.
you guys for a long time. I've kind of been out of the basketball world because I played and I coached AAU and refereed, but my son got into soccer, and my daughters weren't basketball. So for the last 12 years, I've been all soccer. And like Chandler, who you met a long time ago, he played with Asher, different, tournaments and stuff like that. So, Justin and I reconnected because I've been reading about you and how you've been lighting it up. So anyway, very happy to hear how your success. I mean, you just killed it. Watched a lot of your video.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, because of COVID, I didn't get a chance to see you live, but I got a chance to see you play. I mean, the coaches in Northern Virginia, they love you. All of them think you're a great kid, great player, great attitude, and everyone's so happy for you. And congratulations on your new opportunity at Loyola.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. So why don't we start from the beginning? So, where did you play your travel ball? Where did you start playing basketball?
So I started playing basketball probably second grade, third grade, around there. I played up with Nikki, my older brother, just like SY House started that and played 2 years up with them. And from there on out, I just played SYA. I went to travel, play with Coach Heslip and Avery. Me and Avery been playing together since we were tiny. Ty
Who's
Wilson,
Avery? Who's Avery?
Avery Ford from Centerville as well.
Mhm.
He was all Met last year and
Oh, yeah,
first team All State this year and all that.
yeah.
My good buddy, Ty Wilson, who was at PVI, and Brian Grimbach, who was at PVI. We just all went there together freshman year. But so I played SYA my whole like second grade to eighth grade.
Okay, and so until you got to high school, you were SYA guy.
Yep.
Yeah. So what other sports did you play right away? Because I mean, your dad was a great wrestler, a great football player. So did you play? I know you played a little bit of soccer, and
Yes,
obviously,
I did play soccer. I played soccer for a good bit, but then it was just like that all year round. It's like if you gotta play soccer, you gotta pretty much stick to soccer because there's really no break. It's really just the winter, but they still have like training and stuff. And I just fell in love with basketball early and started playing football. And I love those two so much. I just played them every year.
right. And you played SYA football as well.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, and you were what position did you play in football for SYA?
So Little League, my first year, I was a quarterback.
Uh-huh.
It was like 80 American. I don't even know how old I was. 80 pounds. I don't know when that was. Maybe fifth
I think it's
grade, sixth grade,
probably third or fourth grade. I don't know.
something like that. I don't know. I was a little guy, and then I played wide receiver and corner my next 2 years of Little League. So,
Okay. So it was always just basically for serious basketball and football, nothing else.
yep.
Yeah, and then you guys, I mean, since you were very little, you guys lived in that kind of farmhouse in Centerville, Clifton area, right? So you always had lots of places to train, and so you probably got pretty serious pretty early.
I did. I think having my brothers there with me too, and I just I wake up and they're like, oh, let's go play basketball, let's go play football, let's go play soccer. So we're running around all day playing sports. Like that's what we're doing for fun when we're little, just running around, competing all day. It was the greatest thing. That's what we love to do, and that's what we still love to do. So it's just awesome how my dad had the opportunity. Just kind of he saw that we young as like when we were young, we love sports so much that he kind of had the opportunity just to kind of build what he thought of like our dream, which is just have the basketball court, the football field, all that, the soccer nets and all that, so we can just stay home and just have fun and just play all day pretty much. That's all we did when we were little.
Yeah, he used to invite us to come out and train, but we never got around to it. I wish we would have. So is it true that if you missed a foul shot in the game, your dad wouldn't feed you that night?
No, that's not true. That's not true. I might go in the next morning and shoot some free throws. I did that with Coach Harris a whole bunch of times. Sophomore year, I had a couple games where I missed some free throws. I texted him early and got in there like before school started, around 6, and shot some free throws while he watched film and opened the door for me. He would sit there, watch film. I would shoot. Yeah. All mad because we lost. I think we lost to like McLean or something. We played awful sophomore year. Yeah, so I got in there early, got some shots up, but nothing for my dad like that.
Okay. So I mean, look, I know Justin. So did you feel like growing up that it was very important for you to succeed in at least one of the sports?
No, I mean, I feel like he's always put like win first, like do whatever you gotta do to win. That's where like we're big on just winning, and he kind of just installed that into all of us when we were little. Just always compete, always fight, always do your best, no matter, no excuses. Pretty much, just go out there and try to win. So, just from a young age, he was definitely real tough on us when we were younger. And then once we got older, he kind of just like sat. He didn't sit back. He's always the loudest guy in the gym. Yeah. Always, everyone knows his voice in the gym, but he just kind of was like. He knew that our work was paying off, and he could see it every night. It was just, it got to be a great feeling for sure.
Just to tell you a story about your father. So I was a lawyer early in my career, and I just didn't like it, and I tried other things. So I decided I wanted to be a sales guy, and I knew Justin was very successful. So I said, I invited him out to lunch, and he said, Julian, look, you could do great. He gave me like 3 or 4 books to read. And he just told me, look, you can do it. So I read those books that he recommended, and I, dedicated myself, and I had a really successful career in sales, and it was a lot to do with your father and his motivation. So I'm kidding when I'm telling you about this, because he had a profound effect on my career as well. Yeah. So anyway, how about Cindy, your mom? Was she tough on you, or was at least she?
She's definitely tough too. She's definitely tough. I mean, she's definitely tough on the school side. I'll say that she'll know when I have a missing assignment, or if I do bad on an assessment before I even know. Like, she'll check the thing and I'll be like, I didn't even know that. She'll send me the screenshot of it, be like, what's going on? I was like, I don't even know. I didn't know that was a thing. So she's definitely on top of that stuff, and she's the best. She's waking up early, making us breakfast every morning. She's the best. She's driving us around, and she's never off her feet. Like, she tore her ankle up for running right now. She's in a big cast, and she still won't sit down. She's still trying to run around and help me or Kate out and do things for us. So.
But I think it's fair to say that she was more focused on the academics and other things, while your dad was, making sure.
Yeah, for sure. I say my dad definitely cared. I think he cared about the effort part. He was like, if you don't put the effort in, that's when I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah.
She kind of cared more about like the performance part of it as well.
So I know you have siblings. So remind me their names and what sports. I know your brother plays Division I linebacker for Furman. Just remind me of your siblings.
So Daniel's the oldest. He plays soccer at UNC Charlotte. He's 22. I don't know how many years he has left now, because the COVID year and he got like a redshirt year. I don't know how many. I think it's like 2 years left. But Nikki's the younger one. He's 20, plays linebacker at Furman, and that's me. And then my little sister, she's 13. Okay. And her thing is soccer. She plays soccer.
Is she a good soccer player too?
She is. I think she's gonna be real good. She's I don't know where she got the hype, but she's like 5'7" already. She's
Wow.
13. So
Is she a goalie also, or is she going to be?
no, she's defender. She played center back for a while, but then she just moved to a new team and now she's playing left back right now.
Yeah. So did your older brothers put a lot of pressure on you? Like,
Um,
were they tough on you? Did they beat you up, or how was that
they
relationship?
definitely they definitely pushed me a lot. Just like being the younger one, I started a lot earlier because like I saw them doing it. I was like, oh, I want to do it. So like I got in the gym and we would pretty much work out all day and I would just follow their lead because that's what they were invested in. I didn't really know. I was just like, oh, it looks fun. Let me do it too. But it really helped me and they pushed me a lot and they expect a lot from me just because I've been playing against them when I was tiny and playing against their friends. So I've always been playing against people that are older than me and all that. It definitely pushed me a lot.
So you went to Fairview Elementary, right? Or where'd
I
you
went this now went this Clifton Elementary
okay.
for kindergarten, first grade, and second grade. But
Mhm.
then the Clifton Elementary shut down
It did?
because of I'm not sure why the reasons were, but
Oh,
it shut down in my second grade. So I went to Union Mill after that
okay.
from third to sixth.
And then where'd you go to middle school?
I went to Liberty for seventh and eighth.
Where's Liberty? That's new. I don't know that one.
It's right next to Centerville. It's like
Okay.
not it's like a mile away from Centerville. Not it might not even be a mile.
So you're probably pretty close to the Robinson border, right?
Yes, very close.
Probably a mile or two, right?
Mhm.
Because I
Right there.
mean, your cousins, Asher and I forgot his older brother's name, Emerson.
Emerson. Yes, sir.
They live in Centerville, and they're further from Robinson
Yeah,
and closer to
it's
Centerville than
yeah, it's crazy. I don't know how it's
yeah.
crazy. Like they live like 2 minutes away from us, and it's like the line's like right there. It's crazy. It's just like I don't know how you're not going to Centerville when you live 5 minutes away from Centerville and 15 from Robinson.
Yeah,
It's
there have been
crazy.
times where we've considered moving back to Robinson because I would love for my son to play soccer with Asher in high school. I think it'd be really cool. But okay, so you're getting ready to go to high school at Centerville. Did you guys consider private school before high school, or did you want to give Centerville High School a chance?
We really considered private school. Like we were really set on it. We're like, we're going to go to private school. Like I love basketball. That was my thing, and we knew that around here that the main guys, the big dudes, they went to the WCAC, and I went to the PVI camps when I was real little, and then I shadowed PVI and I shadowed Gonzaga, and I loved Coach Ferrello. I still talk to him. He called me up. He actually helped me a lot with getting that Loyola Maryland's offer and all that. He's a really awesome guy. I love Coach Ferrello, but he just I really felt something with him, and I just felt like PVI was a great option for me. And it was freshman year was a great year. I learned
So
a
you
lot.
went to PVI, freshman year.
Yes, sir. PVI my freshman year. So I went there, practice with varsity. So practice against Jeremy Roach every day, Garnham every day, Trevor, all those guys. I felt like it got me so much better and matured me a lot more. It matured me really quickly. Just playing against Brandon Slater, Jeremy Robinson, Anthony Harris, all those guys, big name guys, and it's just like it grew me up quickly, and it got me to a point where when I did transfer to Centerville my sophomore year, like I was like I practiced with these guys that are going to Villanova, going to Duke, going to UNC. I was like I'm ready. So with my sophomore year, I came to Centerville, and the game slowed down so much more because they're such a fast paced team, and that WCAC style is crazy. They're super fast and crazy athletes. So that's why I felt like I came in sophomore year and I was so ready for it. It was just it felt like I didn't say easy, but it just the game slowed down so much. I went from a guy going to Duke running full speed at me, and I gotta just flip my hips with him to a kid that I don't really know his name of coming down and doing this. So it was just like it was crazy to kind of think about it, but I felt like it prepared me really well for it.
So did you play football at Paul VI too?
I did not. I did not play football at Paul VI.
So football had nothing to do with any decision to go to Paul VI.
No, it was a big decision, a big part of me transferring. I kind of missed it my freshman year. I was like, and then my brother was he was gonna be a senior my sophomore year. He was a senior.
He was at Centerville.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Playing football, and I was like, I want to play football with him. I never played football with him because he was always older and a bigger weight. I was like, I want to play football with him for 1 year. So transferred over, and I just came in, and I didn't really know if I was going to be a guy on varsity. And I came in and started as a sophomore, a receiver at varsity, and had a great season. I mean, we ran the wing T, so we didn't throw the ball a good bit, but it was just a great Nikki's friends, been around and playing against them since we were tiny little guys. It was just great being with all those guys and playing the season with them, and it was just a great season for sure.
And then how did basketball go your sophomore year at Centerville?
It was pretty. I mean, when my freshman year, Centerville won. I think it was 6 games or something like that. Like they had a bad season. Bad. They were like 6-15 or 6-20, whatever it was. But then my sophomore year, I came in and we won the district. We were in 18-5, but we got upset the first round of regionals by Osborne. We had a guy go down in the first quarter. One of our bigger guys, and we were a real short team, so Osborne has some big guys, and we couldn't bang down low with them, and they got the best of us.
And so you played point guard, or did you play shooting guard your first year at Centerville?
I played point guard all years at
And then at Paul VI, just remind me, did you play varsity or JV your first year there? You played.
I practiced with varsity. I played with the JV, and I traveled. So once JV was over, I dressed with varsity, and I traveled to like the Chick-fil-A Classic and all that. So anytime they went out of state, I traveled with them.
Okay. Did you find the varsity competition at Centerville was much tougher than the WCAC JV, or was it a step up, or was it about the same?
I think it's about the same. I mean, it depends on the team for sure. Like there are some teams that, like the Mathis JV team, they had some guys that were some studs. Like the Mathis JV team, one of the guys, Elijah Hawkins, he's going to Howard now. Like he was on that JV team when I played him, because they had a whole bunch of studs above him, so he was on JV as well. So like there's definitely some guys that are like freshmen that are playing JV in WCAC that have huge impacts later on in their high school careers, just because the WCAC is so packed. Like there's teams with 6 Division I guys on one team. So it's like, it's hard to get in as a freshman unless you're like that big time dude like Trevor Keels or Doug McDaniel, something like that.
Right. So how about socially? Did you enjoy the social life at Paul VI, or it was easy to fit in? Because I would imagine at Paul VI you had kids from all over, whereas at Centerville, I'm sure a good percentage of the kids went to your same middle school, elementary school. Which did you prefer socially?
I like both of them. I think it was kind of like it was a good flip for me. I like, for like the Centerville, like Liberty wise, like I knew everyone, and everyone knew kind of everyone's background, and like what'd you do, like all of that, and like what you played. And then when you go to PVI, you're meeting new friends, you're meeting new people and doing new experiences, and just seeing how things are going with like other people you've never met before. And then basketball wise, the basketball guys are great. They were really supportive. They were teaching me along the way. They knew I was a freshman. I was a little short guy, but they helped me along the way a lot. And
how tall were you? How tall were you in freshman year? Were you?
I was small. I looked at a picture not too long ago. I had to be 150. Yeah. Maybe a little lighter, maybe 145, probably 5'9".
Oh, well, that's not bad for a freshman.
Yeah, but when you're playing WCAC, there's monsters. Like even at the JV level, there's guys that are 6'7", right, 6'6". So, and then you're going up and practicing. I'm 5'9", 150, and Brandon Slater's coming down the lane, and I'm trying to set a charge. I'm like, I'm getting dunked on. There's no other way around it, but it is what it is. You know,
yeah, take a charge and fall down so you won't get dunked on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happened a couple of times, but I mean, everyone gets dunked on. It is what it is.
Get you in the paper.
Playing at a high level, you're gonna get dunked on. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, but socially, it was the same. I mean, to me, it didn't matter. You could.
I feel like I can get along with people well. I just go with the flow and just kind of I can make conversation and all that. So it wasn't a problem for me at all.
Okay, so you're playing for Coach Harris at Centerville. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So you guys get a pretty good year. You get upset in the tournament, unfortunately. So going into your junior year, did you have any inclination to leave again, or you're happy to stay?
No, I was happy. I was real happy. I love where I was, and it was. I love sophomore year. I was a reflect before the senior year. I was reflecting. I was like sophomore year was that was the year. But I mean, of course, my junior year wasn't great because of what happened. But I was like sophomore year. That I just had a real fun time for sure.
Okay. So before we get to your junior year, let's talk about AAU. So,
Mhm.
so you played for Paul VI.
Yes, sir.
Did you have to switch AAU programs or what?
I did go to takeover when I was over there. So I played on their 15U team, or maybe yeah, it was 15U team. We did real well. We went to the Final Four in Peach Jam, and it was just an incredible experience. Just seeing like you go to the EYBL sessions and it's Bradley Beal over there and Chris Paul right there, and it's just like you're walking right next to these NBA stars, and no one's even like crowding them. It's like it's crazy. It's just like Cole Anthony's. Like I know Anthony Harris. Like I go to school with him, and he's guarding Cole Anthony the whole game. I'm like, dang, I practice with that guy every day, and that's like the number one recruit in the country. And he actually locked them up too, and they end up being college teammates and all that. But it was a crazy experience. I could sit in that gym all day. The talent is crazy. Just watching people that there's so many people in the NBA or in college that are doing it good. I'd be like, that I remember watching them at Atlanta and at the EYBL session and just being like, dang, who's that kid? He's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So it's really crazy.
And so when you played for Takeover, was it an adjustment at all, or were you used to the level? It was no problem.
I was used to. I think PBI helped a lot with that, just with the practicing with them every day and then going to Takeover. It was kind of like the speed was a little slower just because the younger guys, of course. But I mean, it was still. I've known those guys. I was playing against them. I was always the guys playing against them. I played for like Virginia Elite and Virginia Hurricanes, and we played Takeover all the time. They'd end up double teaming me and sending guys at me and all that. So they knew me, of course, before that. I just, with my parents having Daniel at home, Nikki at home, and Kate at home, and then Takeover practice being an hour and something away, hour and 30 away. It was, they wanted me before I went to PBI. That I wanted to go over there, and my dad wanted me to, but it was just hard for us to get over there for practices all the time. So we decided once I got to high school to make that move.
Yeah. So when you went back to Centerville, you stayed with Team Takeover?
I didn't. Well, I did, but then I got hurt, and then I really didn't finish AAU at all.
When did you get hurt? I know you hurt your knee. When did you
I hurt in July. So I played a little bit, and then I went to a lot of camps. Me and my dad decided that we were gonna go to a lot of ID camps, and we went to a whole bunch of hoop group camps, all that to get in front of coaches, because that is when that new rule was put in place where like college coaches can only come to a certain amount of weekends. So we talked to a whole bunch of people, and they're like, yeah, maybe it might be a better idea just to go directly to college coaches. So I went to like VMI's 1-day camp, which I ended up talking to for a long time.
That was before this is before your junior year, right? When you're talking about before.
Yes, this is like that both after my sophomore high school season. So I went there. Then we had Penn lined up, and we went to the hoop group stuff. But I got hurt before the Penn one. But
right,
there was like three of them that had lined up, but I got hurt at hoop group camp and I ended up tearing my ACL, and I didn't get back to AAU until like that. I don't even know if you can even call it AAU, what we had like during COVID. It was like we had tournaments, but it wasn't like the big ones, like the EYBL and all that weren't playing games. They were playing like scrimmages. So I played with Virginia Premier. I had Coach Stissel, who was a great guy too. He helped me a lot. Called coaches like crazy for me. He hit me up and he was like, "Do you want to guest play for my team this weekend?" It was, I don't know. It was just out of the blue. You just want to guest play for my team. I was like, well, sure. I'm like, yeah, of course. So I went down, got in the game. We played like New Jersey Force. He was like, I usually don't start players when I don't even know him really, but he ended up starting me. He put me in the game, and he read over some plays during warmups, and we won. We came back. We won the game. We actually played real well. I don't know what it was at Spooky. Like I don't know what it was. I think it was Hoop Group Jam Fest, and I think it was October. I think it was. But we played Olympus Prep. We beat Olympus Prep, which is a good prep team, and we played the New England Spartans, the juniors, the class of 2022, which is like their EYBL team. They're younger, but they're playing up. They're like one of the best 2022 teams in the country. And we're up all game, and at the end they have this like 7'2" center who's like, he's massive. He's like a 5-star recruit, and he ended up killing us, and we lost by 1. But it was just great. Like we had a whole bunch of guys, just like scrappy guys that had like D3 looks, D2 looks. Like we had no one on the team that had a D1 offer, and we were playing with a team full of D1 guys, and we were there. We were an inch away from beating them. So it was really crazy.
That's awesome. Did you play much differently when you're playing AAU than you play for your high school team?
I wouldn't say anything. I think I just play my game. I just go out there and play, just have fun. I know how to play the game well, and I'm not the type of guy to go out and say, oh, I'm gonna get mine today. I'm just gonna. I know a lot of kids do that AAU. Like a lot of people don't like AAU because it's like not that team environment. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna go get my buckets. Like I'm not that type of guy. I would rather get an assist in a bucket. I just want to win. I want to get stops. I want to score. I want to get stops. I want to score. That's it. So I just feel like I play the same no matter who I'm playing with. I just gotta adjust to the guys around, know what they do, like their tendencies. If I'm doing a pick and roll guy, if he's a roller, if he's a popper, if he's a catch and shoot guy in the corner, like just know the tendencies of guys if they like cut into the basket and all that. It takes a little bit. Like with the Virginia Premier team, it took me probably a game, just like a game to see like, all right, I didn't even know that kid. I was like, I didn't even know that kid could shoot. He did like a pick and pop. I passed to him and he shot it. I was like, I didn't even know that kid could shoot, but I guess he can. So it took a little bit, like one game to adjust, to like get to know everyone's game. And then after that, it was all good from there.
So do you, so when did
injury? How much of your junior year did you get the chance to play? Did you make most of your junior year, or when did you?
I didn't play any in my junior year. I didn't play a single snap in football, a single play in basketball. So
Right.
I heard it. So I tore my knee July 28th.
Mhm.
July 28th. I got surgery on August 21st. Yeah, I did. I was like, why are we waiting so long? Can we get surgery now? They're like, nah, because you have to do like prehab and stuff and make sure it's all good before surgery. But so I missed all of football and all of basketball. I got cleared about 11 months after August 21st. So it was,
It's a long time. It's a long time.
We definitely took the long route. My doctor was really cautious about it, and my dad was as well, just because the numbers are like, if you come back because I was ready. At 6 months, I was ready. I had confidence in myself. I had confidence in my leg that I was ready. So I went to the best guys. I actually hit up Jeremy Roach, who tore his knee his junior year. And I hit him up and I was like, who did you use for your rehab? I tore my knee. I want to get back. I know he was back and he was playing great his senior year. So I hit him up. He connected me with this guy, Lance Kelly, who I talk to every day still. He comes to my house still and works on my ankles. He worked on my ankles all season because I rode him a couple of times during the season, and they were super sore. We had games, 4 games a week almost. So it was crazy. So he came in during the week and helped me out. But
He's like a physical therapist. Is that what he is?
Yes, he's in MedStar in DC.
Okay.
So, every morning I would wake up not every morning. It was like every other morning I would wake up at 5:15 before school. I'd go up there, get there at 6, work out from 6 to 8, get back. I would miss like the first period. I missed a lot of school junior year for my knee. I worked. My teachers were real cool about it, and I came in after school and got all that work done. But they understood what I was going through. I talked to all my teachers, so they were.
It's too bad junior year wasn't. It was too bad it wasn't online. You could just sat in your bed and just done your thing. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so you get off injury, you work hard, you train hard, and I guess your first exposure back to basketball is AAU that last summer. But it was kind of a strange year because we're still kind of dealing with COVID, so it probably wasn't a full AAU season.
Yeah, I went to like 3. I think it was like 3 tournaments we played in.
Right.
Yeah, I also played. I think the first game I actually played in was like we had a little fall league thing at End Zone that we played in. So I think that was my like official like first game back, like just like with refs and all that. But that like first like they didn't really feel like a game because we like play at the end zone. We had like shirts as jerseys. I mean, it was real cool and all that, just getting back on the floor. But
Yeah.
it was definitely a weird experience for sure.
Yeah. So then I guess if you love football, it was kind of good that football was kind of delayed until the spring because you got, more of a chance for you to heal up. Because you would hate to have all that rehab and come back and get hurt in football again before you got a chance to play basketball. So it was kind of nice that football came late. But let's get to your basketball season. So they did well junior year, and you were hurt, so you guys had to be confident coming into your senior year.
Yeah, for sure. We had a lot of seniors that helped us a lot my junior year, like Mekhi Washington, the transfer from Arkansas. He was a beast. He scored like 35 versus Lake Braddock in that. What was that? Quarterfinals? I think that was a quarterfinal game. He was a beast. We had Lance Douglas, who's been there for a while. It's like 6'4" guard who's good. John Hunter, one of my good friends, a good legit shooter. We had Connor Shen, another senior. We had a whole bunch of seniors. We had like 7 seniors. So we knew that we were going to be a little short on depth this year, which we definitely were. We probably played, I think in the state tournament, we played 70, maybe 8. So we knew that our main guys were going to have to get the job done. And I feel like that's what we did all year long.
Yeah, I mean, it's never easy, but it wasn't a lot of drama. You guys kind of cruised to the state championship. It was pretty nice.
It felt like that. When you look at the box scores, you're like, dang, they won by 14. They won by 8.
Yeah.
But it was crazy, like, especially that Yorktown game. I don't know if you saw the Yorktown game at all.
I saw it online. Yeah.
We were I think we were up by like 14, and then we didn't score for like 4 minutes. And they got up by 1. I think that was like the most like now I wouldn't say nervous, but like, dang, I was like, we might lose. Because we lost 2 games all season. We lost to Paul VI, which is, I feel like personally we played, if you watch the game, we played really well. We were down by 10 most of the game, but we kept it close. We kept it around 10. We dropped it down to 6 in the second half with a team that's nationally ranked. They were ranked like 4th in the country at the time, which is crazy that a public school that 3 years ago had 6 wins in a public school was even close to that. But they ended up pulling away at the end. We just got gassed, and they kept on throwing more guys at us. And then we lost to Hayfield in the regular season. But Coach Harris texted me and Avery the night before, because me and Avery both had bum ankles. Like we could play if we really needed to. But we had the week before we played Chantilly, which I rolled my ankle. I didn't play. I rolled my ankle in the first like 5 minutes. It swelled up on me, and then the next day we played PVI. So I was like, I gotta play that game. So I sat out Chantilly, played PVI, and then the next day we went to back. We played Westfield. So I was like, on a bum ankle, my ankle was huge. It swelled up like a balloon, right? And then we played Hayfield on that Monday. Coach Harris texted us. He's like, for the long run, I think it's best if we didn't play. And me and Avery were like, I mean, we want to play, but I mean, I agree. I mean, the non-conference stuff this year, I mean, it was great to win them, of course, but
right.
It didn't mean much for like the seeding and all that. So we kind of played it out, and we played Madison that next Wednesday, which was a big game because the district meant a lot this year to make sure you had the first seed. So we rested up on Monday and played on Wednesday and won, which I feel like we played that real well and just played smart, like not playing a game because we wanted to not lose. But I feel like our bench, it really helped our bench out too, because it was really beginning of the season. It was really just mainly me and Avery like contributing. Like we were scoring majority of points. He was getting majority of the rebounds. Like it was just like all on our shoulders. And then we sat out versus Hayfield, which is a good team. As you saw, we saw them in the state semis. And our guys like Reese Shermer, he stepped up big. And at the end of the season, Paul McLean, Ryan Newell, all those guys, I feel like that game helped us out. I feel like that game almost won the state championship because it showed them that they have to do something too. And it really woke them up, and they played well that game. We were up at halftime versus Hayfield. And I mean, we ended up losing, but I feel like that game helped a lot.
Yeah, it was a stepping stone to what you had to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So, you had this great run, and because of COVID, there's no fans. Did you get used to playing without fans? I mean, do you feel like a little bit? I mean, I'm not trying uh, to bring you down, but did you feel like a little shortchanged because you couldn't experience the state championship with the fans coming off the bench, off the
It was a
crowd?
little different. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was just seeing the pictures of last year and being there, like when we beat like Braddock at Westfield, it was just like a mob of people. I was like, if we would have had that this year, it would have been insane. Like it would have been so cool. But I didn't play in it. I was just like on the bench. I mean, I was still there. I was going crazy still with everyone else. But it would have been sweet. But I mean, I feel like we adjusted to it. The first game, we were like, dude, that's weird. Like we played McLean, and it was just silent. It was just like practice. It was almost like a scrimmage. And then we started having more. They allowed more people coming in slowly. Like the parents were allowed to come here and there, and we got more people in there, which was it helped out a bit, and having our parents there, and just some energy on the sidelines and stuff. Like the bench had to be a lot louder too, because you feed off energy in basketball. It's an
Yeah.
emotional game, so it
Right.
definitely helped getting the bench involved and getting some more fans in the stands for sure. The parents at least.
Yeah. And so, the COVID, was it good for you in some ways because you got a chance to really focus on your training without the interruption? Like last spring, I don't know how Fairfax County did, but in Arlington, they the last 9 weeks, they pretty much was pass fail. So like, my son Chandler, he really got to focus on the soccer because there was really nothing else to do. Were you really able to focus on your training during last spring and summer because of COVID?
For sure. For me and my brothers, we went crazy. Like we didn't. I think we did too much. But I mean, I don't know. That's just like it would be days where I'm like, dang, I worked out 4 times today, like different times. Because I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have to leave. We have all the resources here. Like I would shoot in the morning, then I would do a weightlifting with my brothers, and later on, then I would relax, chill with them all day, and then be like, damn, we're bored. Let's go do something. Let's go on a run. We'll go run. And then I'll be like, let me go do some ball handling. It'll be like 4 different things, and then let's go throw some football. Like we just all day we just do stuff like we were little kids again. But it was just like we were focused, and I feel like my body transformed a lot during those years. I got a lot stronger, and just like I saw my body just change. Like I was just getting a lot more cut up in the midsection, and then like in the shoulders, and just I felt like I matured. I don't know if that was just from working out so much because I had nothing else to do, or just I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I think it definitely helped a lot. It was like it sucked, but like it was also like almost, I wouldn't say a blessing because it's a terrible thing, but
Right.
it helps. I
get
feel like
it.
it helps so much, but we didn't really look at it like that because it was really like I feel like we had an advantage too. Like kids were trying to go out, they couldn't go to Lifetime. I know a lot of kids go to Lifetime. They couldn't go to their parks because a lot of parks took the rims off the.
Take the rims off, yeah.
So like people were like, they had nothing to do, and we're out here. We have everything we have, and we're just like, we're so blessed to have it, and we're not gonna take that for granted. We used it every day, and I feel like it helped us a lot. And then I still went for my parents. They were a little iffy about people coming over for a while, but once they had that like kind of blow over, my dad was like, yeah, I could start having some people over. I got some of my teammates over, and we were just grinding all day, just working. Like Reese Shermer, he was over. He pretty much lived out of my house. He helped us out a lot, and he's a great defender. He was like probably our best defender, on ball defender, besides Avery. But so he was just we're just playing pickup all day, and we're friends with like Trevor. Trevor would come over because he would have nowhere to go hoop either, and he would come over and play basketball with us. And just guys like we're home from college, like Brandon Slater. He's good friends with Daniel. They knew each other when they were little, so he would come over. And Fred Slater, his brother. We started bringing more people once my dad just kind of chilled out. He was like, I don't really care. Like people can start coming over now, because like he knew that people didn't have anywhere to go play basketball, and I wanted to play with some people. I was like, I've been just playing by myself. Like I want to start playing with some people, and we just started playing like pickup at the house all the time. It was just like it was like high level pickup. It was college guys left and right. Like it was crazy. It was sweet.
So speaking of pickup, so when I was a high school player, so I was class of '84, like Aaron, your uncle Aaron. We played nothing but pickup. I mean, kids did not train for basketball back then. I mean, my sister actually did. She was 2 years older. She was an all Met player. She worked out by herself for hours a day. But most guys, we just play pickup all the time. We go over to this place in Springfield, and every single school had their team, and we'd all play. And but training wasn't a thing back then. So generally, without COVID, do you guys still spend a lot of time playing pickup, or is it more of a training? Is it more training?
I'd say I definitely train a ton. But I feel like it's just because it's right there. It's so easy, like it's access for me. But I had buddies come over all the time, and we play pickup. I mean, we have like a half court, and it's not like a full width. So it's like it cuts off at like the wing almost. So it's kind of hard to play more than 3v3 in there. So we play 3v3 a lot. Just I feel like we play a good amount of pickup, but I'd say we definitely train a lot. I like training a lot, but I also like doing like live training. So you're not like robotic. So it's like playing like live, but it's in like a training environment. It's not like you're gonna be super banged up from it or anything like that.
So the good players in Fairfax County now, they don't go to like Nottoway Park or Side Stricker and play pickup against strangers. You spend more of your time with controlled pickup against guys that you know. Is that true?
Yeah, a lot of people, we go to Lifetime sometimes and we'll play
Okay.
pickup. There'll be a whole bunch of kids up there and we'll play pickup up there, but no one really goes. And like me and my buddies, like they're not basketball players, they're like football players, and just my buddies, they'll go to like, there's a pool 3, there's has a court in Little Rocky Run that we'll go and just mess around and stuff. But no one really goes and plays basketball outside, at least that I know of. Like there's mostly everyone's trying to get inside. They'll go Lifetime, go to Planet Fitness that has a gym,
Now,
stuff like that.
do you have a personal trainer that trains you in basketball?
I've trained with Paul Easton since I was real little, and we trained so many times. I can't remember how many times. And
it's like a weekly thing or a monthly?
Yeah,
thing,
we can week. Whenever I text him, I would text him, be like, "Could you come to the barn? Can we train tonight?" He'd be like, "Yep." Then I actually, right before the senior season, I hit up Ray Brewer, who is a takeover coach, and he does the training at the Salvation Army. And it was, I forget where it was. It was pretty far though. My dad had to drive me. He didn't trust me driving that far. It was like an hour and 15. But we'd go there 3 times a week in the morning, real early, and he's a great trainer. He trains a whole bunch of guys. He trains Trevor and he trains like all the takeover guys, a whole bunch of pros and all that. So I started training with him a lot, and I feel like he helped me a lot right before the season, just kind of fine tune things and just get back into like that basketball shape. Like I wasn't really in, like I played some AAU games and stuff, but I wasn't really in basketball shape. And he helped me with that. Just he's a great trainer. He's like one of the main guys around that trains a lot of the big talents. It was great to get with him and build a relationship with him. I've known him for a while just because he coached the Little League takeover teams, and he always talked to me, trying to get me over there and play with them since I was little. But it was great getting to know him some more, for sure.
So of the let's say of 10 players at your Centerville varsity team, how many of those 10 players would have a personal trainer for basketball? Just wild guess. You don't have to be precise.
Like have a personal, or they go to a personal?
Yeah, they occasionally do personal training with the coach. How many would you say?
Like, I know some. So Coach Joe, our assistant coach, he does personal training as well. And I know some of them go with him. I've actually trained multiple times with him as well, just because he's after we'd have like conditioning at the field. I'd be like, you want to do some training at the house? And he's like, yeah. He would come over and we do some training. But I think probably if you say 10, I'll say probably half. Probably half, I would say.
And that would probably be the same for most schools in the area. Like
a lot of the guys don't really just they say like you say they go play pickup. Like a lot of the guys, they don't really go have trainers. They
Mhm.
just go the lifetime and they'll just say, oh, like, can I hop on a court, and they'll just play. That's what a lot of guys do for sure.
So you end up playing football this spring, abbreviated season, unfortunately. I feel bad for you guys. But you guys you did well. You had a good season. You played most of the games.
We went 3-3. It was a really disappointing season because we had so
Oh,
much
well,
talent.
yeah, sorry about that.
I played so the state championship game was the 20th.
Mhm.
The first football game was the 22nd.
Mhm.
So it was like we practiced that Sunday right after winning the state championship, and we played. Actually, no, we played. It got moved to Tuesday. We played on the 23rd. So I had pretty much 2 practices before I played the first game. Played my first game, then we had another game that week. We played TC that Saturday. So my body was already beaten down, and I was exhausted from playing 32 minutes every game for I don't know how long the season was, for a month, like 4 times a week. So it just kind of beat down my body. And the week before we played Chantilly, I was having some problems with my quad. And during practice, I was just running a route, and it kind of just like pulled on me. So that bothered me for weeks. And I came back to play versus Westfield, played the first quarter, and then I was just running a route, and I just completely just collapsed. My leg just completely gave out on me. So I pulled it again, and I'm just getting back now. I'm starting to do things now, and I'm back. I feel good now. So, but I just missed. I played pretty much 2 games, two and a quarter, which was kind of disappointing. But I mean, having 2 seasons back to back like that, I wouldn't say I wasn't surprised that it happened, because the the athletic trainer, Miss Mack, she was like, yeah, your body, you might have to take a couple of days off, like during practice. And she told me that, and like that practice, the day before she told me that, my quad just like blew up on me. I was like, dang. But
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. You can't switch what happens. So
No, you got to accept it. So when you play football, when you're out there, do you love it? Like, I know you love basketball. When you're in the
I
football
definitely
field,
do.
you do love it.
Yeah, it's got that feeling. It's the football feeling is like, I don't know. It's just like that big family, like huge family. Just everyone had different backgrounds, and just that. I feel like the locker room's the big part that I really love. Like my sophomore year, the locker, it was just so fun. It's just all the kids messing around, joking around, dancing before the games, getting hyped before the games with the music. And this year we didn't get to have that at all. Like we split up between the yoga room and the weight room, defense and offense, and we got dressed and got on the bus and left. So it was like we weren't allowed to get in the locker room. So it was a big disappointment that we didn't get to have that like feeling of that like one team, one brotherhood type thing that like football brings together so much, because there's so many kids. And it's just that like gritty, that tough grittiness of just that football brings. It's just it sucked that I didn't have that locker room feeling. But I love that feeling for sure though. Just that like coming together as one feeling.
So my recollection is I didn't like football in the summer because we used to have 2-a-days. I don't know if you guys still have 2-a-days practices.
Yeah, we did, but not this year.
Yeah, hated 2-a-days. Our locker room stank. We had, oh god, locker room it was horrible the way these guys, because 2-a-day they didn't wash their stuff. The locker room, my recollection, wasn't a benefit in football. But I love like Friday night. I love the games. I mean, it was such a rush being out there.
It's the fans. The fans make such a big difference with football too. Just that feeling of running out on the field. Everyone's going crazy. The band, the cheerleaders, all the fans, the parents. Just not having the fans there in football was just like, it was really weird.
Yeah.
Like, basketball was weird, but football, you were like, dang, this is weird. It's just like you're running out in the tunnel, and there's just like, it's like not quiet, but it's just like what's going on almost. It's just real different.
Yeah, a football player is kind of like a gladiator in Rome, where they go into the Colosseum, and without the fans, it's like what's the point? And I love the feeling of football games, but I used to remember by November when it would get cold, and I'm not sure what kind of pads you wear, but I was a running back, and those helmets would hit I'd cover the ball, and the helmet would hit your forearm, and when it got cold, it would hurt so bad. I just couldn't wait the basketball season to start. And so I'm not sure if you're like that. And I did love football, but if it was ever a choice between football and basketball, it was never an option for me. But your results may vary. So anyway, let's talk about Loyola. So you thought about going to Tech and play some football, but you got the opportunity from Loyola, and so when I watch you play, so I was bummed I never saw you play, and so I get to see you play a lot, and I've never seen a kid you use your body effortlessly. I used to use my body when I played, and I've seen others do that, but you have a way to use your body. It's effortless. You don't throw it around, but you use it when you need to. You get the shot off, you create space, you do all those things for you. And one thing about you that I really find impressive is that pressure doesn't seem to bother you. You get the ball, it's full court press, the situation's 1-point game. Those things don't seem to bother you. To me, you have a very strong mental and physical game. Would you agree with that? Would that be your self-assessment as well?
I do. I feel like going back all the way back to freshman year, I feel like that's when I first got that, like with that pressure. So I would have Anthony Harris guarding me full court. He's like one of the best defenders in the country, full court. And he told me he's at my house all the time in the summer, like during COVID too. He didn't have a gym, and we're close. Like we'd go fishing by the pond next door and all of that. We were real close. And he was like, yeah, Coach Farrell told me to get all over you today. Try to make, like, Coach Farrell always challenged me during practice. And he told the older guys to get on him, full court press him today. See what he can do. And full court press me one practice the whole game. The whole practice. And Ant was getting frustrated because he didn't steal the ball. Like not one time. Coach was getting frustrated too. And he talked about it over the summer with me. I didn't even know that coach told him that, but he was just like, I feel like that helped me out with the pressure. He would be all over me. And I just learned that from, if Ant can't steal the ball from me, I was like, I know that these other public school guys aren't going to UNC. There's no way they can steal the ball from me. There's something like that. So,
yeah. So in Loyola, I should know this, but who was the coach at Loyola?
Coach Hardy.
Okay.
Hardy.
And I know with COVID, things are changing quickly. People are leaving and coming and going. But do you think looking at the roster, there's good opportunities for you there to get playing time?
I think there's definitely good opportunities. You're always gonna have to work. I'm ready to work. I'm ready to come in and grind and show what I can do. But there's definitely an opportunity, and I feel like it's a place where I can go in and definitely have a big impact early on if I do what I know I'm capable of doing.
Yeah. So one thing I know about players today is social media is a big deal. So when I played, our only media was we'd play a game and then we wait the next day and we look for the box scores in the Washington Post, and we wanted to have Brown. It was never a lot, but maybe 6. And I couldn't wait to see that. And then we had the Fairfax Journal. I don't even know if it's still around, but they would do articles. They would come like two times a week, so it might be a couple of days delay. That was all we have. I know kids today are into social media. You have a great play, you post it. What is the social media atmosphere for top basketball players like yourself?
I wouldn't consider myself a top tier.
Well, you're player of the year. You're player of the year in Virginia.
Okay, I got you. For that, I think it's a good thing, but it's also not an awesome thing because people get caught up in the hype and the videos and that, and they care too much about what other people think. You just gotta go out there and play pretty much. I just feel like people just care about that so much now, but I think it's cool and all, but it's not everything. People think it's everything. Oh, you're famous on this, then you must be good. You still gotta play. You gotta come in and play every game. It's not like if you're got a lot of fans on Instagram that you're gonna be good. It doesn't mean anything. You gotta go out there and play every game no matter what. So it's just I feel like it's a good thing and a bad thing, I would say.
So you enjoy it, but you think it kind of gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah,
people,
for sure.
not of
People
you, but
definitely get caught up. People definitely get caught up in it a
yeah.
lot. Yeah.
So what would your advice be to young players, you know, good players that are eighth and ninth in terms of private, public, AAU? You know, you've had a lot of experiences with public and private, with injuries, COVID. You know, you've had to endure a lot, and to your credit, you've been amazing. You had amazing. I mean, you're a modest kid, which I really respect. But you're state champion, you're player of the year. No matter how good a player you are, when you win a state championship and put a team on your back, that says a lot about you. You can never diminish what that means. What would be your advice to young players who are starting out and they want to get to the next level and they want to be where you are with a Division I opportunity?
Just don't give up on yourself. Just keep on grinding. I know there's hard days. There's a lot of tough days, a lot of tough nights that feel down on yourself and you feel like it is gonna be over. Oh, I'm not gonna get the opportunity anymore. I thought about that a lot. With my knee, I didn't know if I was gonna come back the same. I mean, it's a big injury. I mean, I know everyone doesn't do that, but you just gotta keep believing, keep grinding, and if you put your heart to it, I mean, you can accomplish anything. You can do whatever you want to do in this world if you put your heart to it. I'd say that.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I think you're living proof that if you do things the right way, play hard, you win games, people will rally for you. I mean, you've built up a huge following in the area. People really are cheering for you. You're a great player. You deserve it. But I just, want to thank you for doing this interview. I really feel bad that Justin and I haven't been in touch all these years. He's meant a lot to me too. But in life, as you'll find out, you go through different phases, and you tend to hang around with folks that are doing the same thing you're doing. So, Aaron and Justin are both good friends. Aaron's son plays soccer, so I've seen Aaron more over the years, Aaron and Tracy more over the years than Justin. But I can't wait to follow you at Loyola, and hopefully, when COVID's over, I'll be going up there and checking out your games in person. And I just know they got a steal when they got you. So I just want to wish you luck, and I can't wait to see what you do at the next level.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Means a lot. Thank you.
Great. We'll say hi to your parents for me, and we'll keep in touch.
Will do. Appreciate you.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Chris.
Bye-bye.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.